Welcome everybody to HexHeart Podcast. We have a long road ahead of us, and I'm really excited for it. So right now, at this time, let me introduce Jr of Pray on the Week. Hey, what's up, guy? How's it going? We have been biting at this for a while, and I really am looking forward to this. First off, go ahead and introduce yourself because I'm pretty sure you don't need no introductions.
Well, I'm Jr from the band Pray on the Week, the vocalist. People in the music scene here in the 209 know of me, and some don't. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're a little bit of a celebrity on my show because you have been through. Excuse me if I miss a couple. You've been through 1710, Sector 209. You're on Pray on the Week, and you're in. I'm missing one. What was the one that you were on?
Stories of Stone and Split Personnel.
Yes, and you were also in Sector 209 also, which these are all big bands for people that are watching this. I mean, they have experienced 1710, Sector 209. They're now experiencing Pray on the Week. You're a celebrity right now because you're known to everybody, and that is just amazing.
Yeah, I've been in and out of the scene for, I don't know, 20 years, you know what I mean? Like in and out of different bands and stuff. So, but I think Sector 2 that really got everyone, moving as far as like getting to know me and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I would say it's about a good 20 years just in and out of bands, so.
And these are all bands that are really much known in the Valley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Split Personnel was my first band. Like that was back in 2006, I believe. That was like my first one. Yeah. And then after that was Stories in Stone. And that one was going for a little bit. And then it was 209 and then 1710 and then Pray on the Week.
Can you tell us, let's just dig into it. What are some of your favorite stories from these bands? Just get into it. I'm excited for this.
Well, I would say Split Personnel, my first real band that I was in before. And I think introduction into doing music and stuff like that. So I think that one really kicked it off for me, experiencing, playing on stage and doing all that stuff. So that one was really like the gateway band, you know what I mean, to the introduction to doing music and stuff like that. That one I think holds dear to me, and that was like in 2006. Yeah.
How many of these bands that you were in played at Spinnakers or at the other place?
I would say in 1710 and Sector 209 we were going to Spinnakers and the other place back and forth. That was like in 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Right.
Yeah, that's when the music scene in Modesto was really popping. Because when I was in second, I was in Stockton, and we used to always play Spinnakers and the other place, and it was really cool. And then I transitioned to 1710, and it was the same day over there.
There is a lot to unpack in these bands. So let's just dissect them one at a time. What are some of your stories for 1710?
1710. So it's a funny story. I was in Sector 209 at that time, and I believe it was Lucky Fest, I believe, in 2017, somewhere around there. And they didn't have any singers at the time because there was some going on. And then Louis from Stig Murder, he was like, bro, they don't have a singer on stage. Just go up there and just freestyle. And I was like, all right. So I just went up there and I didn't know any of their songs. I just kind of freestyled and whatnot. And then about a week later, I got a call from Chuck, the drummer, and he was like, bro, he's like, there's some stuff going on in the band. Would you like to join 1710? Would you like to try out? And I was like, sure. So I tried out, and then I was with KC, and then Joe Young, he wasn't there at the time. Rest in peace, Joe. He wasn't there, and then so I was kind of feeling in his shoes for a little bit, and then he came in later, and then there was 3 of us. So yeah, if it wasn't for that Lucky Fest deal, and where I jumped up and did a freestyle, I don't think I would have did 1710. So it's kind of weird how that happened.
Nice. Did you ever tour with that band?
As far as in California, yeah. Nowhere outside of California. We went as far as like San Jose and of course Modesto and stuff. So we at the Fat Cat, and we opened up for POD.
Yes. That's the fire that I feel. POD was like top of their game when you guys were around, when you were around that time, and I am amazed at the pairing. How much energy did you feel going into Fat Cat that night? Fat Cat is a bit, like I said, a bit of a commodity because of its reputation at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the excitement on that was pretty good. I got to meet Sonny from POD before and after the show, and it was really cool to just be there and just experience that, and it was really cool. We all had fun. Me, Casey, Joe, Chuck, everybody. We all had fun that night, and that was pretty good. Obviously, the Fat Cat's no longer there. It's a church now, right? Yeah.
It's been a couple things. It was a church. Now I think it's a child's museum, or it's going to be a child's museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but on that end, what about Sector 209 is a little bit alien to me. Can you tell me a little bit about that band and some stories for it?
Yeah, so Sector 209 came around like about 2015, and that was a Austin-based band, and it was mostly here in town. And then we played our first show at the Climax, I believe. Was it the Climax?
Climax?
Yeah, they were doing Metal Mondays, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot about that. They were doing a Metal Mondays at Climax, which is really out of pocket for Climax given their clientele. But yeah, how was that?
It was actually pretty cool. That was our first introduction playing in Modesto, and Mike Vanek was the one that asked us to go play that show, and it was the second Metal Monday that they ever had at the Climax. And then so we played that, and then Dave Ussery from
Nothing But Losers.
Yeah, he
a former guest man, I add.
Yeah, he was there that night, and he saw us play. And at the time, we had a real drummer in our band, and that February they were doing like a ladies' night tribute to like women in the metal scene and stuff like that. So because we had a girl drummer, we got invited, and then that's when we played Spinnakers. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So and then from there it just kind of snowballed, and then it just kind of took a life of its own, and that's when everybody, and I met the guys from 1710, and it was pretty exhilarating. I was juggling 2 bands at one point. I was in Sector 209 and 1710.
There you go. Fire. I feel it. So, do you happen to have any stories from Stockton? Stockton is alien to me because I've only been there like once or twice. Well, so I don't know.
I've been here for like 20 plus years.
Right.
Not by choice, but I mean, at times Stockton had a good music scene. They had a lot of things going on, but now it's just dry. There's not really anywhere to play. You know what I mean? So
wasn't there in the Ghost Light, or was that closed? Is that closed now?
Ghostlight is still there. I don't know if they're doing any more shows because I don't see any updates on their page. Their doors are always closed. They were doing some shows, and then all of a sudden it's like nothing. So I don't even know. That's on the Miracle Mile. So yeah, you got me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you happen to have any out of, I guess you could say, any out of the ordinary stories for Sector 209?
For Sector 209, well, here's a story. We practiced in a little itty bitty storage shed. It was super small. I want to say it's like maybe like a 10 by 10. So we all crammed in there where I lived at the time, and we used to always just jam in there. And where I lived at the time, we used to have like barbecues, and so it'd be like a cool little thing we had going on there. So it was a close family, for all of us and whatnot. So I was really appreciative that I got to experience that with those guys, especially going into Modesto and whatnot. So I mean, it's nothing but love for those guys.
So would you say that if you had an opportunity to jam with any of these former bands, that you would get that you would go for it? Or or do you take your past as your past?
I would like to, if I had the opportunity, I would to resurrect Sector 209 if we could all get on the same page, because as life goes on, people have other endeavors and things just go different directions. So if I had the opportunity, I'd like to, do Sector 209, but that's wishful thinking, and that is in the past, and sometimes stuff are just left better in the past, and that's probably one, so.
Right. Now, past to present, tell me how you connected to Prey on the Weak, if it's not going too out of the way of what we were talking about.
Like, how did I connect with them? How did I get into the band and whatnot?
Yeah, and then maybe a couple stories about them, and then we'll also show the segment that I showed you I was going to show for Prey to the Week.
Okay. Well,
Prey
those guys,
on the Week.
Yeah, Prey on the Week.
I've been doing that all day. It's like Prey on the Week.
No, that's all good. Yeah, those guys, they were in a band for at least a good solid 3 years, and they had a couple of name changes, and they opted with Prey on the Week. Probably back in early April is when it got officially changed. You know what I mean? And then in June was when I went and tried out, and I've been there ever since. It was just kind of like one of those deals where I freelanced and just did my thing without knowing the songs and whatnot, and it just
nailed it. I mean, I've heard some of your I've seen some of your performances, and you have it down pat.
Yeah, we're still fairly end. I mean, I've only been in the band since June. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I think it's going pretty good. We'll see where it goes. So you never know. We're barely a few months in, so I'm there with them. So we'll see what happens.
Can I show them the video of you guys performing?
Yeah, so this is the Five Eye Brewing, right? Is that the one?
Yes, Five Eye Brewing.
Yeah, that was our first show, and that was my first show in 6 years. I haven't played a show in 6 years, and I was kind of like a deer in headlights, here and there, but I think it went pretty good.
Okay, all right. So one sec. I'm going to show this video of JR playing at the Five Eye Brewing. As soon as I get it up there.
Go ahead. I'm going to move this table real quick.
All right. Okay, all right. Let's do this. So, is there any comments you have to this performance?
Just that it was my first show back after 6 years.
I mean, this is really professional. Like, this is really good for you coming back. It's like you just snapped right into it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like messing up the confidence.
So, give us a little bit play-by-play what's going through your head when you're doing it. When seeing all those people out there and you're just going through the motions. Is there any emotion that you're feeling? Or is it just you're going through the motions?
I think I'm just kind of still in the moment, you know what I mean? Honestly, I didn't really even know what to expect, you know. I just kind of just put it all out there and just did it, you know. Did the damn thing.
The lighting, the sound, the boxes. I mean, this is a really professional performance. And you can tell that it was just that you just came back. It's like you snapped right into it.
Yeah. I think I was in the band only 3 months when this when the show happened.
So what is the name of? Do you have names for these songs, or do you just play them?
That song was called "Blame Me." Yeah, and then we just jumped right into the second song.
Right.
So it seems like it's like a
which is a good way because you only have less than 45 minutes to do your set, right? Isn't that the time frame?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, about 30, 45 minutes, something like that.
Let's do some ripping. Let's rock,
Jeez, I get so jazzed by you guys. I swear, I'm a fan myself.
That's my son right there.
Little guy knows how to get down.
Yeah, because it's outdoors.
So when you do these, before you do these, do you practice them first, or is it when you step up there, it's go time?
You mean as far as like moving around and stuff, or what?
In terms of your song.
I mean, we practice songs, but then like when we do performances, like they just kind of like, I don't really think about it. I just kind of just do it. Really, that makes sense.
It comes to you, right? It's natural.
Yeah. I don't really think about it. I just do it. And that's it.
Make some noise.
So, what's this song called? Since you went from Mamie to another.
This song is called "Freak Out."
So, what do you use the boxes for? Are they supposed to be in connection to lighting, or like actual lights for the dark, or do they serve like actual purpose?
Yeah, I think they're LED lights, and they're activated by triggers. Those lights, those ones aren't hard. I think those are hard. Or whoever provided the lighting.
How do you plug those in? Those look really complicated.
Nah, it's really too complicated. Just plug them in, and then it's all activated by triggers. Well, that was fun.
Right. Now so there. Oh, cool. So, what was? I mean, wow. I mean, So like I said, take me back to how that moment was for you. I mean, at the moment, do you count the people? Like, how do you keep from getting stage fright for when you go up there? I mean, there was a lot of people there that night.
I think I've conquered my stage fright years ago, so it wasn't really that bad. It's just because I haven't played a show like in 6 years, so it was kind of a little nerve-wracking. I was pacing back and forth and whatnot, but I mean, as soon as I went up there, it was just kind of like, dusting off.
Yeah, like you getting right back into it. Like you didn't even leave the stage.
Yeah, and it just kind of just came naturally, and it just like midway through the set, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm back. Like
you're back. There it is. Get back into it.
Yeah, because it's been 6 years since I played a show, and it's been 3 years since they played a show. So we were all kind of a little nervous together, you know what I mean? we got through it. I thought it was.
Do you happen to have any plans for Prey on the Week for the future?
I mean, like I said, we're still fairly a brand new band. You know what I mean? So I mean, we haven't even recorded anything yet. We're just playing shows. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna play one more show, and I think after that, kind of take like a little break to kind of just recalibrate and figure things out. Right. Maybe do some recording, maybe some new songs. You know, but
are you making CDs?
We want to get into the studio, and we're not quite there yet, but eventually I think once December passes and once January comes, I think we'll reel each other in and then just kind of figure out what it is to do, because like I said, we're still fairly new. We've only played a handful of shows, so we're not quite there yet, but we'll figure it out. I know we will.
So from the past to the present, now to the future, tell me what you have planned, like in terms of the future base. Do you plan on doing like any online downloads? Or are you sticking to just CDs? Are you going to after you get into the studio, are you going to start trying to go doing festivals? Or the question, have you tried or in the future are interested in trying festivals?
I mean, yeah, any opportunity that we could get to play a festival. I mean, I don't think a band would turn that down. You know what I mean? A festival's a long shot, but I mean, like if it comes our way, I mean, I don't see not. I think we're kind of like a long way from that, but I never know. You just never know. Things might take longer than others. Things might happen sooner. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Right. So, your last show, if I'm not mistaken, was at 1870 Brewery. Wasn't that true?
Yeah, the Modesto, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, the one that put together.
Yeah, that was our show. Yeah.
So, from Five Eye Brewing to that one, was there time to practice a lot, or were you just jumping from one to the next?
Yeah, well, that show we got added on like last minute. We only had 3 days before the show when we got asked to play that show. So that day we were supposed to practice. So it ended up being a show day. So
way to upgrade.
it just kind of happened that way, and I mean, we should have practiced, but I thought it sounded like crap. But I mean, we went out there, we still did it. At least it was a toy drive, so it was a way to get toys and whatnot. So it was fit and everything. So it was pretty cool. I mean, and plus too, it's in Modesto. We're the band is Modesto based, so I mean, it was a good opportunity. We went out there and did it. I mean, it turned out pretty good.
Are you gonna do the December 17th at Five Eye Brewing?
No. We actually got invited to do that one, but we're not gonna do that one. We have other things going on, but that's what with No Silence, right? I think that's what.
Yes, No Silence and Taking Fox Hollow.
Yeah, we got invited to do that one, but yeah, we have obligations. Certain
plans. Future plans.
Yeah. So, but no, we're not going to play that. I might go to it. But, we'll see what happens.
That'd be cool, and nice to see you off. I'll be recording a couple of their sets because a little revealer. I'm gonna try to get Brendan Yashimita as one of my guests for HexHeart Podcast. I called him and he's moderately interested, so I'm actually gonna go over to seal the deal. So that's where I'm going.
That's cool. Yeah, hopefully it all works out. People are gravitating towards this podcast, so I mean,
I'm trying. It's a new thing for me. I've only done it like a couple months. There's only like you'll be the 22nd guests, and there's a lot of people, like, for example, Talking Shop for Dave and Brandon. They have like up in the 500 episodes. I'm far from.
Well,
I'm starting out.
I was just gonna say that everyone has a starting point. So you got to start somewhere. So
that's true. That is true. So do you have any more? Do you have any interesting stories for Prey on the Week so far, or is that just fairly new territory that you'll get to when it gets to it?
Yeah, with Prey on the Week, like I said, we're still fairly brand new. So, I mean, we're just doing one thing at a time right now and figuring things out, stuff like that. So, but I have nothing but mad respect for everybody in that band. Everyone, you know.
For sure. I mean, everybody in your troupe has got notches under the belt when it comes to musicianship. I mean, every one of them is known in the music scene. You have quite a lineup there. Honestly, that's what I was mentioning before. You have quite a lineup for Prayer on the Week.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, you know, they've been in the music scene for quite some time, you know, with other bands and whatnot. So I've known them for years, and it's you know, as soon as I started auditioning and everything, it just felt natural. It felt like gems, you know, and just, you know, they're all great musicians. I have nothing bad to say at all.
We stick together in the metal scene. That's a really big thing.
Yeah, you know,
I'm often told the metal scene is very unjudgmental. I mean, we love everybody as long as you're not a dick.
Yeah, you know, they push me, you know, and I appreciate everything. And you know, there's no other place I'd rather be to, you know, get it all out, you know, with these guys. You know, and you know, I feel really appreciative about that. You know, I really do.
There you go. That is the one and only JR. Is it JR Jr. or is it JR period?
It's just JR Guzman.
Okay, JR Guzman. The I think you froze a little bit. The one and only pioneer of bands up the wazoo, JR Guzman. Thank you for being a member of my collection of podcasts. You are a godsend, and I know that it's been a little bit rough these past few days. I know we've been talking back and forth.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
It's all right. It's all good. You know, just
gotta keep practicing. Just like your musicianship. This is a practice.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. I'll let you go. Thank you very much for being my guest. JR Guzman, everyone. Pray on the Week.